Good evening, I'm Taylor Thomas with the CTV News Update. In an effort to combat youth crime, the county executive is imposing a curfew for county kids. It means children under the age of 17 must be at home from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. Sunday to Thursday. On Friday and Saturdays, kids will be required to be indoors from 11:59 p.m. until 5 a.m. County Executive Angela Alsobrooks says the curfew, permissible under Maryland law, will be enforced for the next 30 days.
There are several steps of enforcement, beginning with a warning and a parent or guardian who is not notified. And if a parent doesn't respond or fails to respond regarding their child, the child will be released to social services. Parents and owners of establishments who allow youth to remain on premises during times where they should be at home will face fines including $50 for a first offense, $100 for a second offense, and $250 for subsequent offenses.
County officials say police have arrested 430 kids this year alone. State's Attorney Aisha Braveboy says it's disappointing that she wasn't invited to the Alsobrooks press conference announcing the curfew yesterday. The county executive appeared to take aim at the state's attorney's office and accused it of sending youth home after being detained by the police, only to be rearrested for another crime. Braveboy rejected criticism of her office by saying they are following the law. As for the curfew, she says she supports it.
We have a lot of young people who have, who are unaccompanied, who are out very, very late at night. And it's a problem. It's a problem just for their safety, even if they're not getting into any trouble themselves. The likelihood that they may encounter people that mean them harm is greater. And so I think it is really important to protect our young people by having appropriate hours for them to be unaccompanied in our community.
Meantime, the county executive's curfew announcement is drawing support from some residents. CTV News spoke to shoppers in Largo for their reaction to Alsobrooks' decision.
A lot of times children that are under the age of 17, most of them need to be at home, and most of the parents are working. So I do think that's a good idea to have them at home.
They got kids with guns at 13 years old. That's crazy. Where they get them from? Now, do you want to blame somebody else for your job, your stuff? Yeah. No, you can't do that. You got to take care of your own kids.
We really need to crack down on these juveniles. We got to do something because the parents not doing it, so somebody got to step up.
It was a deadly Labor Day weekend in Prince George's County. 11 people were shot, including a baby. 4 people were killed, including a 15-year-old. Police have identified 2 of the victims. 44-year-old Roberto Santos Melendez of Hyattsville was killed on Monday. 43-year-old Dwayne Ellis was shot on Sunday in Bladensburg. You're watching CTV News. I'm Taylor Thomas. Back in a moment.
Did you know breast cancer kills more than 41,000 people every year in the U.S.?
That's 113 people every day.
That's unacceptable.
African American women die from breast cancer nearly 41% more than Caucasian women.
That's unacceptable.
Nearly 250,000 men and women in the U.S.
will be diagnosed with breast cancer this year.
That's unacceptable.
Breast cancer is the leading cause of all cancer deaths for Hispanic women.
Breast cancer is unacceptable.
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 Help us save lives.
Together with Susan G. Komen, we're committed to reducing U.S. breast cancer deaths by half.
And we're going to do it by 2026.
Support Susan G. Komen. Join our fight. Save lives. Visit komen.org/unacceptable.
Failure is unacceptable.
The TSA was busy this Labor Day weekend. The agency says it screened 8.76 million passengers between Friday, September the 2nd, through Labor Day. It is the highest number for a holiday weekend since 2019, when TSA screened 8.24 million travelers. Officials say Friday marked the heaviest travel day with 2.48 million people screened. Also this weekend, agents intercepted 67 guns. So far this year, more than 4,300 firearms have been stopped at TSA checkpoints. Orange Line commuters are celebrating the reopening of 5 metro stations today. A project to modernize the new Carrollton, Landover, Cheverly, Deanwood, and Minnesota stations has wrapped up after several months. Riders had been using shuttle buses to get between stations. New outdoor platforms have slip-resistant tile flooring for rainy days. Other improvements include LED lights and emergency call boxes for riders' safety and security. A Temple Hills teen has been charged with fatally shooting his girlfriend. The suspect, 78-year-old Booker Wilkins. According to police, officers were called to the 5300 block of Fraser Terrace on Sunday. When they arrived, they found Sandra Watson inside of a home suffering from gunshot wounds. She died later at the hospital. Police say Wilkins shot Watson during an argument. Wilkins has been charged with second-degree murder. Here are the latest COVID-19 numbers for our area. The Maryland Department of Health has confirmed 1,161 new cases. The county's positivity rate is at 11.63%. 7 Marylanders have died over the past 24 hours, and 498 people are hospitalized. Beginning today, it's mask optional for all Prince George's County public school facilities. Officials say the decision is based on declining positivity numbers and high vaccination rates. Students, staff, and faculty are being encouraged to support personal decisions on mask wearing. Earlier, the school district had issued a mask mandate for the start of the school year based on a recommendation from county health officials, making Prince George's County the only jurisdiction in the D.C. area to have a mask mandate on the first day of school. And still ahead on CTV News tonight, a round of applause for Frances Tiafoe. The Prince Georgian native scored a big win at the U.S. Open. Stay with us for more.
This is my house. My parents helped build it. Now we don't get wet when it rains. I don't get too hot or too cold inside. I can play with my sister, I can play with my brother, I can play with my mother, my father, my family. This is my house. This is my house. This is my house. This is my house.
This is my house.
Visit Habitat.org to find out how you can help more families like mine.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Students working at the University of Maryland will get a pay increase next year. A $15 minimum wage for all student employees will go into effect January of 2023. Students currently earn $12.50 an hour. Now, the Board of Regents raised the minimum wage for non-students to $15 back in January of 2022. Meantime, graduate assistants say they're still struggling to make ends meet, even with a 3% cost of living adjustment that took effect in July. The Maryland State Board of Elections formally asked for a judicial order to suspend a state law that prohibits the opening of mail-in ballots before Election Day. Instead, it's asking the court to permit local election boards to begin processing mail ballots on October 1st. The board voted unanimously last month to approve the legal action. A spike in mail-in ballot participation during the primary election stretched canvassing for weeks in some Maryland jurisdictions. The General Assembly passed a bill this year that would have allowed ballot processing 8 days before early voting started, but Governor Hogan vetoed the measure. Companies awarded a mobile betting license in Maryland will now have to submit a diversity plan. Maryland Matters reports that a state commission unanimously approved the policy amendment. The plan should include strategies to diversify owners or contractors, conduct diversity-related events, and propose timelines and benchmarks to achieve those objectives. The diversity plan must also be made public. The legislature actually pushed for the equity in the sports betting industry last year after it was revealed that predominantly white-owned businesses received licenses when the medical cannabis industry launched nearly 5 years ago. Well, it was a shocking win heard around the world. Prince George's County's own tennis player, number 22 seed Frances Tiafoe, defeated number 2 seed Rafael Nadal to win the quarterfinals at the U.S. Open. His impressive win ended Nadal's historic 22 straight Grand Slam winning streak. Tiafoe's day was topped off with a tweet from his idol, LeBron James, who congratulated him. NBA Wizards star Bradley Beal also congratulated Tiafoe. His next matchup, by the way, is tomorrow at 1 p.m.
I'm beyond happy. I'm almost in tears. I can't believe it. Can't believe it. He's definitely one of the greatest of all time. Yeah, I played unbelievable tennis today. I have a great team behind me. And I've been putting the head down. I'm just happy where I am in life in general, and I'm able to just do me and do it my way and enjoy the game I love.
The University of Maryland football team opened up their season at home against the University of Buffalo this past weekend and came away with a 31-10 victory. While he wants to see improvements, head coach Mike Locksley said he was proud of his team's efforts on offense, defense, and special teams.
You know, it's always great to be able to get a first victory, especially here at home in the Shell in front of our fans. Pleased with the way we were able to do some things today on offense, defense, special teams. But obviously, with game one, there's a lot of things we still got to get corrected, as I expect us to. I was proud of the way that our defense played. I thought those guys did a pretty good job of keeping them out of the end zone. There was plenty of things that we can still get cleaned up, and like I said, usually you see your biggest jump as a team is from week 1 to week 2. It's kind of been the history, and so I expect us to really kind of get some of this stuff cleaned up. It's always better to be able to do it after a victory, which we're really fortunate to have gotten it done here in the Shell today.
The Terps go up against the University of Charlotte on Saturday, September 10th at 3:30. Let's get a quick check now on our 3-day weather forecast. Tonight, scattered showers and thunderstorms with a low around 67. Wednesday, mostly cloudy with a chance of showers with a high near 78. Thursday, mostly sunny with a high near 79 and a low around 63. Friday, sunny with a high near 81 degrees and a low around 62. And now, for our community calendar, the oldest running state fair returns to the county. The Prince George's County Fair celebrates nearly 180 years of community and family. Meet local farmers, compete in friendly competitions, enjoy the rides, and so much more. The fair kicks off Thursday at 5 p.m. at the Showplace Arena in Upper Marlboro. Check out the schedule on your screen for the times and dates. Now, for more information, visit countyfair.org. Can't wait to see you there, of course. All right, that's a wrap of our CTV News Update tonight. I'm Taylor Thomas. Good night.
My mother, since she retired from work, when she was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it just turned my life like upside down. It was difficult for me to identify because she normally